Hello and welcome to another IC Monitor tutorial. In today's tutorial, we're going to talk about how capture filters can help you reduce data in noisy networks or for long-term capture. We're going to explain filters and where they happen in the capture chain, so you know how to effectively use them. And of course, we're going to configure a filter and test them with live capture. Before we talk about using and configuring filters, it is important to understand where they are processed in the capture chain. After being captured on an interface, telegrams then go through a capture buffer and enter protocol processing, while telegrams coming from a file directly go to protocol processing. Here, protocols are identified, and after that, the capture triggers are examined. Now, if no trigger is active, or the start condition has been fulfilled, telegrams then go to the filter, and the filter is examined. If telegrams match the filter, they can go through and be stored to files, or API handlers get triggered, and all telegrams that don't match the filter condition will be discarded here. If the capture trigger is active and there is no start condition being met yet, or if the stop condition has been met, telegrams get discarded at the trigger point and do not reach the filter. So it is important to know, when you configure both triggers and filters, in which order they're being processed. There are two types of filters in the IC Monitor. One being the display filter, which is entered up here using telegram expressions. And the display filter will affect the visibility of telegrams you have already captured. It will not affect the amount of telegrams or delete any telegrams that you already have, and it will not affect an ongoing capture. The other type is a capture filter, which we'll configure in just a minute, and capture filters will affect the ongoing capture, meaning all telegrams that don't match it will be discarded. If we have a capture filter active, we'll see discarded telegrams increase, but we'll see that live in a second. Now let's first create some data that we can actually try the filters out on. And for filtering is very simple. We just go ahead and ping a device in the network, do it in perpetuity, so we always have some ICMP telegrams we could filter. I'll now select an interface and start my capture. Now you can see we have a lot of telegrams to work with, so I'll stop my capture, and there should be some ICMP telegrams in there. So I'll just apply a display filter, and everything gets invisible. We have 1,200 telegrams. 12 of those are visible with this filter. If we remove it, everything else is visible again. So let's try the same thing with the capture filter, and say we want everything through that is not ICMP. If you don't know the expression you want to put in here by heart, you can use the create expression dialog and build an expression with nodes and operators. Or if you have stored expressions, you can use those from here as well. Now let's apply the settings. Make sure our ping is still running, and let's start the live capture. We'll get a warning that we have active capture settings. We'll get that for triggers and filters, and that is meant to inform you that something is influencing your capture. You might forget about that when you restart the monitor or when a colleague worked on your PC, and you'll see the settings active down here. So now we captured a couple of telegrams, and we can stop the capture and look in our capture status bar. So we captured 1,400 telegrams. They're visible here. And if we now try the ICMP filter, we'll see nothing, because the ICMP telegrams didn't get captured because they didn't match our filter. And we can see down here we have 52 discarded telegrams. Regarding the pop-up, you can disable this if you go to Options, Capture, and check the Do Not Show Capture Settings info with the Start of Capture box. That does it for today's tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see each other in the next tutorial.